Readers Entertainment Radio presents Booklights with your host, author Lisa Kessler. Booklights, where we're shining a light on good books.
Hello, everyone. All you longtime listeners out there are probably going, what? Why are we hearing the theme music after dark? I'm thinking the same thing, but we're doing a special show today, and I'm super excited because today we have Shawn on, and she has been on before. She's one of my writing buddies, and you all know how much I love having friends on, and now it's kind of like a slumber party because we're doing it at night. But but if you haven't read Shawn yet, you are in for such a treat. She writes characters that I promise you will not forget. We laugh so much talking about all of the adventures that her characters take her on. So I'll read her bio here and you can get to know her. Shawn writes captivating, inclusive Black romances that will have you up in arms for the heroes and sometimes even the villains. In her free time, she likes to binge watch reruns of Supernatural, read books of all genres, or watch anime. She currently lives on the East Coast, experiencing all 4 seasons, but will never forget her constant summer living in Los Angeles days. You can find out more and sign up for her newsletter and check out all her social media. And she also has an amazing book podcast. So we'll talk about that later. But I did put a link to her website right there on Blog Talk. So if you are listening live or if you're listening later, you can click that anytime and get signed up and check out all of her books. So without any further delay.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi. I'm so excited that you could come on.
Me too.
So you have a new football romance out called The Red Zone, and so I'm dying to hear about it because I just watched the big game. The Super Bowl was on yesterday, and I'm not a fan of either team, but that was a wild game and the overtime, and I just kept thinking about your book, and it's just perfect timing, right?
Yes. So I adore football. I grew up watching it with my grandparents and my siblings and my mom. And so when I started writing, like in the back of my mind, I was trying to figure out something fun to write that I really enjoyed. And this series was born. And this particular book, Red Zone, follows one of the twins who are the oldest of 5 siblings, adopted siblings. And he is trying to figure out why he's attracted to his former friend, even after all these years of them having like this spat that they just could not resolve no matter how much they tried. But yet, like one little kiss turned into something much more, and they are now both trying to like decide, well, do I actually just like this person, or like was it all in my head? Can we resolve this? Because I actually really enjoy your lips in other parts of you. I really had a lot of fun writing Parker and Sahili. And I thought the best time to put it out, I was originally going to release it in November last year, but it wasn't ready, one. But also, I was like, you know what? Super Bowl is like one of the best times, I think, to put out something or remind people about football romances, because if you come off that high of watching the Super Bowl, but you still want to like enjoy a little bit of it fictionally, you're going to turn to like sports romance. And that's something I like doing. And I have 3 in this series that are out, plus one that's kind of like football adjacent because he's a retired quarterback. So I had to put Parker's book out this weekend. So here we are.
Yeah, it's so exciting. And you have Valentine's Day coming up this week, too. So this is like the month of love. So it feels like, like it's all coming together.
It is. Yeah, I definitely was thinking like, okay, well, it's Black History Month, and these are 2 Black main characters.
Oh, that's true. Oh, my gosh.
Weekend, right? It's Super Bowl weekend. So we have the football in there, and then it's the month of love with Valentine's Day coming up. So right before you get to Valentine's Day, you also have this romance where people are reconciling differences. So
I love it. Yeah, you have, it feels like all of the lines are converging, and this should be the perfect time for this book.
Definitely.
So can you tell everybody a little bit about the series Endless Night? And it's Endless Night, Knight, like a knight in shining armor. You want to tell everybody what that means and what the series is?
Yes. Okay. So the series was born from a short story that I wrote in like a Christmas novella, and a friend of mine and one of my author friends had read it, and they were like, no, this needs to be bigger. Like, I need to know the rest of this story. Where's the rest of it? Give me more. And I was like, what? Hold on. I'm not prepared for this. And so I was trying to figure out like where that, and it was book one that that was born from. But I was just like, I don't know. Where am I going with this? What am I doing with this? Oh, my gosh. Okay. So I kind of just sat with it for a minute. And as I sat with it, these other men in my head were like, we're all brothers and make us all play together and give us all of our love stories. And I was like, okay, well, there's 5 brothers. They're all looking for romance. And here we are. So it's just like this endless amount of the Knight brothers. And they also have a little sister, but she plays a different sport, and she's going to have her own thing going on later down the line.
So how many books will there be in the series?
We're going to have 5 for the Endless Night series, and then their sister will spark her own series doing some other stuff. She does not play football. She plays beach volleyball, but if you read through book 1, 2, and 3 that are currently out, you do get little hints of her trying out for the Olympics. So there's something to look forward to.
Oh, exciting. And if somebody jumps in and buys the Red Zone, because, guys, you have to check out the cover for the Red Zone. Whew, oh, my goodness. That man should never wear a shirt. Anyway, if someone decided to get the Red Zone and just jump in there, will they be lost, or should they go back and get book 1 first?
I wrote them so that you can read them standalone. So each of the books do explain the relationship with any of the brothers that pop up and their family, and you get little snippets of like the past relationships, but they're definitely written as standalone. But if you want to read them behind the other, you definitely can, because it'll make sense along the way.
Okay. Well, that's always fun, because I know that I get impatient, so I like to read the new book, but then usually it makes me go back and read them all.
Definitely. Same.
Well, I have to ask, of course, what's next? Is it book 4 next? What are you working on now?
Well, book 4 is percolating in the back of my mind. I do hope that I can put it out at the end of the year, but I'm not going to hold myself to that because I do work a day job. But the next thing on deck is currently in the editing process right now, and it's the 5th book in another series called Big City, Small World, which follows 6 couples in San Francisco. They're a friend group, and they just kind of, get to their happily ever after in this little pocket niche area in San Francisco.
I love that, and that kind of dovetails into my next question. So you write Black romances, and do you enjoy, like, I love the Big City, Small World, because those of us who maybe haven't lived in downtown LA or downtown New York or downtown Chicago, I grew up in the sticks, and so people go, oh, it's in Soho. I'm like, where the heck is that? Or they say, oh, it's in the borough. I don't know what that is. So how is it for you writing those kind of settings where you're like pulling us in and teaching us stuff?
So I grew up in LA, so I grew up in this big city, but at the same time, I didn't really explore it that much off bat because you grow up and you kind of stay what you're used to, right?
Right.
Don't really go outside of that. But as I got older, I kind of wanted to travel to other cities or travel to other parts of California. And like, I grew up, it wasn't the sticks. It was like legitimately Los Angeles proper. And so that was all I knew. And then as I started going to like other little cities with friends or for concerts or whatever, I was just like, oh, this is a whole different type of vibe. And, San Francisco, for example, is completely different than LA.
So you know, to be fair, I think everything is different than LA. I lived in San Diego just down the street, and you drive up to LA and you're like, what is even happening?
What is happening? Yes.
I don't blame you for staying in your little section because yikes.
Yeah. It was
so big.
Like, so it is huge. Like 10 million people in Los Angeles alone. Like, come on now. That's wild. That's bigger than some entire state. Like,
yeah. And the way it's all spread out and there's so much traffic, I mean, it makes sense that you would make your own small world inside that giant city, right?
Exactly. And I even did that with San Francisco because it has, you know, it's not nearly as big, but it has like nearly 1 million people in San Francisco. And so I picked a little pocket neighborhood that wasn't far from an actual place that is known to have really good food and boutiques and all this other stuff, and kind of based my series on that because it is a popular area in San Francisco, but I didn't want to like actually take that area and make it. So it's a slightly different setup, of course. But I just kind of wanted to highlight, you know, my state. I love California with all of its flaws.
Yes. I miss California
so much. It's not snowing there on a regular basis.
Right. I don't know why they're getting all this rain, though. It must be because you and I aren't there right now.
Right. They said, oh, no, we have to cry because Lisa and Ray left.
Yes, exactly.
But I just really wanted to pull people in and give them an experience of something that is a real place, but like fictionally, because I do take some creative liberties. But I do mention like the Painted Ladies, which are a historical monument area in San Francisco. I mentioned that in the series, and then there's some other parks and things that I mentioned because since I use real locations, I do want to mention things that do exist in case people want to go experience the city. So when I have Los Angeles in a story, I'll mention something in LA. When I have San Francisco, throughout that, I mention something that could give you, like, there's the I can't even think of the name of it right now, but it's the Kirby Street, and it's one of the big things that people will look at or drive by. It's terrifying. But so
it
cool.
is terrifying. Yeah, I've only been to San Francisco once, and those hills are terrified. I'm like, how do you drive here? Because one of them, I'm like on the edge of the hill and I can't see the street. I'm like, okay, I'm going to hold my breath until we get to the bottom.
Yes, I went with a group of author friends actually for my birthday last year to go to wine country and just go around San Francisco because half of them hadn't been. And it was so much fun. We went to, different tourist traps because, of course, they had never been to California, or at least that part of California. And then I wanted to go wine tasting, so we went to a black winery. Very cool. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and I love to incorporate that kind of stuff into books that I write because, it gives you a different level of reality within the fiction, so you can actually really feel like you're immersed. And I do that with the brothers as well because they're in different parts of the country. You have New Orleans, so I base some of that in book one, Fumble Recovery. Like, he's in New Orleans playing football there. In book two, he's in LA, so I go back to LA and add some fun beach stuff and food scene. And then in book three, they're in Houston, so I give it the vibe of like football life because that is Texas.
Right.
So I focus really heavily on like the football and the personalities of people and their coffee. And yeah, so I just really like to let people feel like they are really in the book and in the place that I'm, like, in the city that I'm focused on.
Right. I love that. And this kind of is, I'm always curious because I used to teach a lot of writing classes back in San Diego, and any time that there was somebody whose day job was journalism, they would struggle with fiction because they forget that they can be God. You know, they're so worried about all the facts, and they forget that you can be God. You can make it rain, you know, or whatever. Do you find it hard to shift gears? Because I know your day job is in journalism, and do you have a hard time when you sit down to write a book to go, okay, let it go. It's going to be whatever I want.
Yes, absolutely, 112%. It's just something about, like, your brain is like facts. Do not put any opinion into this. You don't want anyone trying to tell you you're biased. You don't want any of that kind of nonsense, because you are writing something that is supposed to be completely 100% as well as it's been told to you, factual. So it's really hard to then turn and go to your fiction writing and be like, I could take creative liberties here.
Right. I can make up a section of San Francisco.
It's totally fine. Like, oh, this doesn't really exist. That's fine. Because my journalism brain is in the back of my head going, ha, 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 what are you doing?
Do you have rituals or things that you do so that you can, like, get in the vibe, or do you do it when you're editing and you go, hey, it doesn't have to be like that, or how do you do it?
Yeah, a little bit of both. So I have a good group of beta readers who will go, okay, so this is a bit much. Why are we doing this? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. You are absolutely right. I thought that was too much. Let me bring it back. But I also
a little too much reality.
Right. I've been in journalism off and on since 2015. So, and I started writing in 2018. So, you know, a few years.
Right.
And then I didn't actually publish my first book until 2020, right as the pandemic was starting, oddly enough.
Yeah, that's when we met.
Right, yeah, we met right after I had published my first book that is no longer up at the moment. But, well, I'm working on re-releasing that because I just want to tweak some things in it. But it's not that the book was bad. It's just I feel like, you know, your first book should not be published. You should let it sit for a second. But
that's right.
I have been, like, teetering back and forth between very fact-based writing and taking those serious creative liberties and just telling a fun fictional story that's based on some kind of fact, because I love including something that really happened if I can. And because I also write romantic suspense, so if there's something that actually happened and I can tease it into a book, I would love to do that without it being too weird. And then of course, again, with the contemporary romance and the sports romance, I will include something like that's an actual fact, like place that exists or something to that. Or actually in the other football book that's not in the series, that's like football adjacent, it's called Uncovering Her Teddy. No, wrong one. Oh, no, it is a series. I'm tripping. I'm mixing all my characters together. In the second book of this series, Second in Inches, the book before this, it's his twin brother, Cosmo. He takes his best friend on a date because it's a best friend, still lovers, and she loves scary things, horror movies, haunted houses, things like that. And so he decides that he wants to take her on a date to Pico House, which is a literal place in Los Angeles. That, you know, used to be sort of a brothel of sorts, and maybe a whole lot of gang violence happened between, like, race wars, and people died and all this kind of stuff, and it just has so much rich history. So she loves that kind of stuff, and so he took her on a date there. So I kind of give you a little bit of Pico House history in that book. So, and that's a football book, I know, but, like, his girl loves scary stuff, so why not go to a haunted place that, you know, has some interesting background?
Right. Well, do you ever get ideas from your journalism stories or stuff? Does that ever spark ideas to get your books rolling?
Yes. They are currently in queue to be written, but I have quite a few where I've spoken to someone or I've been researching something and I'm like, that is absolutely a story. I am not going to use these exact facts because that is a problem and we don't want to do that, steal from someone's life. But like, this definitely screams some type of story. So I have a laundry list of story ideas that I eventually will get to based on random facts that have been told to me or that I've read while doing research. And listen, if I sat here and told you, we would run out of time.
I bet.
Time's over.
And sometimes because you're in journalism, but a lot of times truth is stranger than fiction. And so you read these things and you know that if you put it in a book, the editor would go, no way. And you're like, way.
Exactly.
Way, this happened.
Like, it's real. It really happened. Yes. Yes.
Well, I wanted to ask you about Ray's Corner. Your podcast has been revived and you're making new episodes. Do you want to tell people about it?
Absolutely. So Ray's Corner started back in, I want to say 2021. And it was an Instagram live show where authors would come on and we would talk a little bit about their recent or upcoming releases, similar to what it is now. And, we have some fun for a little bit. And I just really wanted to highlight voices that weren't necessarily being put out there. And I don't have a huge following yet, but I just love talking to people and interviewing people. I guess that's the journalist in me. And just learning about folks and all kinds of things in that nature. So I had sat on it for a while because I was in school doing my master's program for journalism, and I just could not do that while trying to figure out and balance my life with
Right. You had a lot of things cooking.
Yeah, 2022 into 2023 and 2021 through 2023, let's be honest, was just a lot. And so after a while, I had to pull back on something, and the show just kind of went dead for a while. But it had always been in the back of my mind to bring it. And at the end of last year, now that I'm settled into this new role that I'm in for work, and I'm, moved into the new apartment that I'm in, so I don't have to worry about traveling and all the other stuff going on with my actual life. I decided I wanted to restart my show, so I put out my first episode for Ray's Corner of the revamped show on February 2nd, highlighting a couple Black authors for Black History Month, and it's not on Instagram Live anymore. You can catch it on any podcast platform, and also I have a video version on YouTube with you can see the author's face if they so choose to be on camera.
Cool. And so what do people look up if they want to find it on their favorite podcast platform?
It is literally Ray's, RAE''S Corner, and it should pop up on Apple, on Spotify, even though we are boycotting them, on iHeartRadio, whatever your preferred platform for podcasts are, it should be on there. And then if you want to watch it on YouTube because you like YouTube, it is also on there at Ray's Corner. And if you're looking particularly for the code, it's at Shawn Stories.
Okay. I love it. So fun. Yes. Everyone should check it out because I have been on Ray's Corner a couple of times. The new one isn't up yet, but she does super fun interviews and we laugh a lot and it's very fun. Last time we played a game. So anyway, you should totally listen. So definitely.
That show comes out March 1st. Yes.
Oh, so March 1st, I'll be on there being silly. So you guys can check out Ray's Corner on whatever podcasting platform you enjoy, and don't miss an episode because she is definitely a journalist. Very, very fun, very fun interviews.
They are fun interviews and less serious than other people that I have to interview in work life, so I'll give you that.
Well, I wanted to ask because our listeners tend to be readers and we love to add to our to be read list. So who inspires you when you're not doing journalism and writing another book? Who do you like to read? Who makes you want to get to the keyboard?
Oh, yes. Okay, so I adore Alyssa Cole. Like anything that Alyssa Cole puts out, I am absolutely ready to snatch up. I was just recently rereading No One Is Watching, and it's one of her thrillers, and I'm so ready for the next book in that series to come out, which I think is coming out really soon. I can't remember the date right now because I've tried to stop thinking about it because I want it now.
Well,
so excited.
And she writes in every genre. I read one was like a Civil War romance, and then I read another one that was like an AI fake boyfriend. I'm like, what can't this woman write? She can write everything.
Everything. Like you get your historicals, you get your thriller, you get your contemporary. It's just so, yes. One of my favorite is How to Find a Princess. So cute.
Oh, I haven't read that one.
Yes, it's in I think it's in the series that you mentioned the first time when you were saying it was a historical look back.
Right.
Well, she has a couple, so maybe. But it's really cute. It's so adorable. It's the royals, and oh yeah, amazing author. I love Alyssa Cole. I recently discovered Jameson Shea, who writes YA thriller. And the book is I Feed Her to the Beast, and the Beast is Me.
Oh, I've heard so much about that book. I haven't read it yet. It was great.
It's delicious. It was so hard to stop reading so I could go to sleep. Because I was reading after work or before work, so I had to stop and not read while I was at work, and then stop so I could go to sleep at the end of the day. And I'm just oh my gosh, on the edge of your seat the entire time, what is happening? Because there's a lot of authors who have recently put classism and racism and underlying themes in their books, and sometimes you're just okay, you're beating me over the head with it. The writing is great, but Jesus.
Right. Give me a break for a second.
But it's something about this one that just grips you in a way where it's it has you at your collar and you cannot get it to let go, and you don't want it to.
I love it.
It is such a good book, and I will never stop recommending that. And I can't wait for the next book, and I am very impatiently waiting for that one, especially with the cover reveal that came out recently. I'm take my money now.
That's right. Take my money.
Take my money now. You can have all of my money. I'm trying to think of another. Let's see. Oh my goodness. I think you know what? Kaylin Bayron also writes YA. A lot of queer YA, thriller-ish type story. Cinderella's Dead was I think the one I discovered her on, and she's such a. I think I've read everything by her because you can't put it down. It's just so captivating in a way where you're wait, what is happening? what? Excuse me? And she also doesn't write in one type of facet. The stories are all thriller, suspense-esque. I think all of them are sapphic, if I remember correctly. Kind of romance-y, but very much more just YA fantasy thriller style, and it hooks you. It is such a hook that I don't even know how to describe. I can't put her down. Like I am impatiently waiting for her next book.
Can't quit her.
Oh no, she is a one click immediately.
Oh
yeah.
Well,
yes.
before we run out of time, it is Valentine's month, so everyone who's on has to tell me their favorite rom-com.
Oh, you put me on the spot.
I know, right?
I can't help but mention Mia Heinzelman's Accidental Crush, The Accidental Crush, because I'm reading that one right now. It just came out, like, I think last week, and it's so cute.
And I'm a big fan of Mia, too. Her books are always cute. Oh, my gosh. Those games, she has a gaming series. Oh, so adorable.
The Love and Game series is so good, too. It's just so much. Like, you can't help but laugh and love the romance that's happening in all of her books. It's very, very, very rom-com.
100% co-sign on that. She is fantastic. We are rapidly out of time, so how can readers find you when they read the football book and they're like, oh my gosh, how can they find you?
Yeah, so my website is loveraysean.com, and I'm on TikTok, Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook, and I'm still on Twitter. I mean, I guess it's X now, at Rayshawn.
I still call it Twitter.
Right?
Well, thanks so much.
So, yeah.
Yay! Well, thanks so much for being here, and I will talk to you soon.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining us on Booklights. Be sure to connect with us at www.readersentertainment.com for articles, blogs, videos, and podcasts that matter to readers.